back for Saw 3. The longest in the series so far, clocking in at just under 2 hours. But that just gives us more time for disgusting gore and fuckery. So this one follows a man named Jeff. And he's abducted to teach him a lesson in forgiveness. Jeff lost his son due to a car accident. And Jigsaw has collected the people responsible for the accident and the trial outcome and everything else. And they face some horrible deaths if Jeff doesn't forgive them and free them from the devices. And goddamn, we've got, and it's also the first Saw that shows some titties. We see a woman completely nude, chained up in like a freezer room with little nozzles pointed towards her, and she starts getting sprayed with water. Jeff has to find the key to release her. And, well, the ice just keeps piling on and piling on her. It actually reminds me a bit of that scene from Men Behind the Sun, when they have this person outside in the winter and they keep pouring water on their arms until it freezes over, and then they bring them in and they just go and skin their arms. That shit was fucking great. Well, this one, there's no skinning, just a giant icicle. We also get to see the judge responsible for the sentencing. He's chained down in a big metal pit. It's like a butcher's factory. And then all these rotten pigs start getting wheeled in, dropped into a shredder, and the judge keeps getting rotten pig guts spewed all over him. Fucking beautiful. The other device, probably one of my all-time favorites in the entire franchise, and it's basically a crucifix. Buddy's attached to it, like arms here. I guess it's not a crucifix because he's standing like an X, both legs like this, arms out, and head strapped as well. And each limb keeps getting twisted, one at a time, until they just rip out of the sockets. And when you're watching this, make sure you have this going cranked through a surround sound system or with a really good headset so you get to hear the bone crunching. That shit is still super fucking cringy to this day, and I love it. We also get Jigsaw's apprentice back. They're responsible for abducting a doctor to do an emergency operation on Jigsaw. He's still suffering from his frontal lobe cancer issue, and his apprentice is doing her best to keep him alive, and he's doing his best to get her to follow his words exactly. But she's a stubborn little cunt, and shit goes south for her as well. The whole ending, I think they're gunning for like an emotional pull on it, but I was just fucking laughing. That shit was hilarious. But what was really cool though is while Jigsaw is telling the apprentice how badly she fucked up, they keep showing clips from the other two Saw movies and how she was actually involved in all of it, and including going in and fucking killing Adam from the first one. That was pretty cool. Shows her how they do some setups in the second one, the first, just, and even some shit that they haven't shown yet in the movie, in the series. So that was really cool. I like that they get to show more gore without trying to do the huge setups to the traps. So that was awesome. Um, One of the cops, Donnie Wahlberg's partner, she's in the beginning of this one, um, but falls into a trap and doesn't really do all too well. Sup, Rex? Um, we get to see Donnie Wahlberg as well. He's still trapped, like from the ending of the second movie. So he's still SOL. Um, but that gets touched upon more in the next movie, Part 4, which I'll be throwing on shortly. Um, Violence and gore wise, this flick is the better of the three so far, but because of the runtime and the pacing in between the traps, it does kind of feel like one of the slower ones story wise. There were some cool new developments with Jigsaw and all that, but it is a little slower. But I get it. The story is a little more involved, so they're trying to build that part up. If you can look past that, just sit back and enjoy Jeff's ride, and to see if ultimately he is able to forgive anyone involved with the murder of his son. And on top of it all, just like in the first Saw movie, his wife and remaining child were abducted. That's all I'll say about that, but definitely check out. Oh, one other thing. While this was on, I paused it quickly just to double check to see what's going on with the Spiral release. I thought 100% that it was being released on HBO Max, just like how Mortal Kombat and Zilla vs. Kong were. And I thought I had read that, but I was mistaken. What's happening is on HBO Max right now, they're streaming all 7 of the Saw movies leading up to the release of Spiral. But Spiral is a theatrical release only for now. That fucking sucks. I'm in Ontario, Canada. We're in another lockdown. That means no fucking theaters. Talking to some of my friends in the States, a lot of their theaters are still fucking closed. So, why they aren't doing VOD or some type of streaming, whether it be just selling it through Amazon or YouTube, doesn't have to be HBO Max, but just give us folks that don't have the chance to go out to see it in theaters a chance to fucking watch it at home. That's fucking bullshit. But I digress. Enough of that. So with that being said, I don't fucking know when I'm going to get to see Spiral to continue on this whole saga of reviews. Fingers crossed they make an exception to Canada and give us a way to fucking stream it. I'm dying to see this shit. With each one of these movies I watch, I'm actually getting a bit more hyped for Spiral. Which is weird because I really, really, really don't like Samuel L. Jackson. So I've got my fingers crossed that he faces a very, very painful death in this fucking movie. I've only really liked him in Django Unchained and Pulp Fiction. Everything else he can fuck off in. Oh, it was cool when he got eaten by the shark in Deep Blue Sea as well. That was beautiful. But I'm really getting off topic now. Saw 3. Definitely a worthy entry into the series. The whole rotten pig and the fucking bone cruncher thing. Those win me over every time I watch this goddamn movie. And for you gorehounds out there, I'm pretty sure you'll love those 2 scenes as well. Just remember, have that sound fucking cranked so you really feel the bones breaking. And with that, there's my review for Saw 3. Stay tuned for part 4. Stay sleazy. Peace.